Hello, my name is Danielle Amos. I am a prosperity, money, success mindset coach. This journey that you'll be on with me is one that I've taken myself, and it is all about the image and the idea of you. And this journey, this transformation that I had was so significant. And it was a journey that was really important to my success. I didn't realize that the ideas that I had of me in my subconscious mind was actually holding me back. I didn't realize that there were ideas around lack of worthiness or that actually led to self-sabotaging habits, or this idea about money wasn't for me that led for to me undercharging as a coach. Here's the thing, once I did this work and I stepped into who I truly am, what happened was I let go of the struggle. I stopped settling, I stopped self sabotaging, and I got connected to who I truly am. And I knew somewhere in my heart, I knew that I was meant for more. I knew that I had been playing small.
One of the people that has learned it very, very well is Danielle. Now, we have people in different parts of the world. She's one of the best in the world that's at it. Relatively new compared to some others, but there's nobody better. She does a phenomenal job. And that is because she took this and she applied it to her life. And she started to see her life change. In fact, Paul, her husband's life changed. So the whole family gets involved in this. When you've got something that's really good, you don't want to keep it a secret. You want to share it. And that's the way I was with this when I found out that I changed, why I changed. And so that's when I decided that I was going to spend the rest of my life teaching this. Your emotional mind operates quite different than your conscious mind. Your emotional mind must accept anything you give to it. It cannot reject. It has no ability to reject. Now, this part is so important, but I don't think most people give it the attention that it should get. Your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what's real and what's imagined. It has no ability to tell the difference. You see, your subconscious mind is like the earth. It's immoral. It does not care what you plant, but it will return what you plant. So we should be very, very careful for what goes in here. Now, let's go back a number of years. Here we are here. We've just arrived on the scene. Brand new little baby. Now let's put the drawing up of the baby. There it is there. That's the baby. See, the subconscious mind is like the baby. It's wide open. You can put anything in it that you want. Anything that you want. Now I want you to imagine, because you were a baby at one time. Now I was a baby during the Great Depression. And before I even got to school, the whole world went to war. So you see, the energy that I was born into was pretty crazy. But let's think, I want you to think of when you were a baby. What was going on? Who was raising you? What was their economic situation like? What was their conversations? What did they study? What did they do? Now look at it again, real careful, okay? Your subconscious mind was wide open. And everything that went on around you was dumped right into your subconscious mind. And you know, you become a product of your environment. And that is where your self-image was built. You don't need the experience. You need to have the idea in your mind and be it now. Walk like one, talk like one, act like one, work like one. Millionaires are usually very effective workers. They start early and they stick at it, and they're very, very persistent. You see, I believe we're here to grow. Spirit is always for expansion and fuller expression, never for
Mhm.
disintegration. We are all spiritual beings. And so we're here to grow, to expand, to fulfill ourselves. And so what we really want to do is expand our level of conscious awareness. And unfortunately, the educational system has focused on the intellect rather than on the awareness. So you got people coming out of colleges and universities with a highly evolved intellect, but they don't know what the hell's going on around them. They're lost in an intellectual world, and they don't have the awareness. They're not aware of who they are and what they are. They're not aware of the power that they have within them and what they're capable of doing. We're God's highest form of creation. There's nothing on the planet that will even come close to us. Well, I believe that that's what these programs do. It wakes a person up. A person is stuck because they're afraid, usually, and because the image they hold in their mind keeps them where they are. And when you go to change the image, it causes a lot of discomfort. When you go to change the paradigm, it causes a lot of discomfort. It is not an easy thing to do. But when you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and how it works, that's different. You see, it caused a lot of discomfort in me, but I knew what I had to do. And I knew that I had to go through the discomfort if I wanted to get to the point where I wanted to go. Out of all confusion comes order. And it's a higher degree of order than that which existed prior to the confusion.
It was so interesting because, I understand now that everything happens based on what you're asking for. And so what I was actually asking for was something to come into my life to turn it all around. And so somebody sent me a message one day, someone that I actually didn't know that well, sent me a message and said, hey, my mentor is doing a class. I think you'd like it, because I had been posting about some mindset stuff, some professional development stuff on my feed. And I thought, okay, sure. And so I hopped on, and it was probably within 10 minutes of watching the class. There was something different. It wasn't the traditional way of talking about mindset. Like, you weren't talking about getting into a mindset where I needed to hustle and grind and do more. You were talking about how you can live a life of fulfillment and joy and happiness, and still create all the success that you wanted. So I remember actually like reaching out to you and being like, I just saw your video and I have no idea why I'm messaging you or what's gonna happen here, but I'd love to connect. I want to know what you're doing. And so I didn't know what you did. I just knew that it really aligned with me, and it was like an aha moment. Yeah.
And so we got on the phone, and you wanted it.
Yeah. Yep. I remember getting on the phone with you, and I knew exactly that what you were talking about was what I wanted to do. I think you even mentioned something about quantum leaps, and I was like, that's what I want. Like, oh my gosh, like somebody is actually giving me like hope of a possibility of getting myself out of where I felt like I was kind of underneath of something to like just flying through the sky. And I remember we had a conversation, and you were like, you know what? This program will help you. And I knew you could feel within me that I knew that it was all possible. So, and then you told me how much the cost is. And then immediately it was like, oh no, I can't. And so in that moment though, I didn't stop thinking about it. Like, I continued to just say, no, wait a minute. Why can't I? Can I? I don't know. No, I can't. And so I just kept connecting to the vision that you'd created. You did a beautiful guided visualization for us. And I just kept connecting to what I saw in the vision. And every time I did that, it made the price feel smaller.
Love that.
The price feel more doable.
When I started thinking into results, or I should say when I was thinking of joining, my network marketing business was successful, and I just knew that I had so much more opportunity. And I think what really drove me to want to try something different like this is I knew that it wasn't just more doing, because I was already a doer, and like my time was full and I felt like I was doing all the things, and I felt like I couldn't work any harder, if that makes sense. But I'm like, but yet I know that I have so much more opportunity, and complacency is like one of my biggest fears. I'm like, I just feel like I'm kind of getting complacent with this level, and I don't like feeling that way. So I loved the idea of like, I needed to rewire my mindset from within. And like, the thermostat analogy always connected with me. Like, it wasn't just a matter of raising my thermostat temperature. It was, I needed a whole new thermostat to like just think and act differently, and like step into a more leveled up version of myself. So that's a little bit about why I started, because I couldn't do anymore.
That's awesome. I love that. So you said, I love what you said, step up to a leveled up version of yourself. So tell me a little bit about that leveled up version.
Yeah. So before I started this, I was always anxious, and not to like an anxiety point, but I was always like nervous, and I was operating from a scarcity mindset of like, I was never doing enough, and I couldn't, there was always like so much more. And it just like, I was always kind of stressed, if that makes sense, and uptight. And really soon after I started this, and, I think the energy of the Success Society and Danielle and just everyone in the community, I was like, I feel really calm. And I have never felt calm in my life. Like, that was a kind of a new feeling to me, but it was also the type of person that I wanted to be. I'm a mom of 2 little girls, and I just wanted to feel really in control of my days, even when they feel out of control. Like, I want to be in control. And this material really helped me do that. And I can course correct now really fast when I go back to some of those old feelings that creep up every now and then. But like, I'm done with them, and I've moved past it, and it has given me so much calm confidence.
Definitely. When I found Danielle in this community, it was through New York Life. And, it's kind of interesting. Sometimes I feel shy to say this, but it is what it is. It's a story that I have. I wasn't doing well when COVID it started impacting, and all the businesses shut down. We had started working from home. It was around the end of March. Well, my business kind of came to a halt because I just refused, first of all, that anything was happening. So I didn't adjust. And by the time 6 or 7-ish weeks had passed by, and I realized we weren't really going back to work, because I think I just kind of took a vacation. It's like, it'll blow over. And then when it didn't, I realized, wow, everyone's saying pivot, and I don't really want to pivot. I don't want to work from home. I don't want to be on Zoom, all this stuff. And it really just got in my head, and my business suffered. So over those couple of months, I didn't fill my pipeline. But day by day, I just kept becoming more discouraged. So I had made a decision that once I had worked my pipeline all the way to the end, I was going to resign. And on the day that my last contract completely closed and I had no more, I was ready to resign, there was a meeting. It was like a kickoff in July, and this was I thought was going to be another sales meeting, and so I was not going to jump on. But at the last minute, I just decided, well, I'm still technically with the company. I owe them this. And that was the day they introduced Danielle to me. And I think the theme was stepping into her, stepping into the person you need to be to get the goal that you want. And just, my husband tried to tell me these things. My pastor tried to tell me these things, best friends, all these things. And for some reason, it just was like, I'm unhelpable now. But the way Danielle said things, and the way whatever it was that she said, there was enough hope for me to grab onto what she said and made me want to try. Because I was at a point I didn't want to try anymore. And so the funniest thing is, when I got on the call to find out if this was the next step for me, thinking into results, and I was presented with how much it was going to cost, all of a sudden I had a million ideas on how to get the money. I don't know. And I told um I told the counselor that I was on with, I said, all right, let me have 2 days to decide whether or not I'm going to sign this contract and jump in. And I got off the phone with her, and immediately the first person that I called, I said, hey, by the way, you really need to start thinking about this, and it's long-term care. And she said, yeah, we do need to put that in place. And I was like, well, boom, now I've got the money to start the program.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I might be digressing, but this is how I found the community. This is the state of where I was in my business. And oftentimes I love what I do, but sometimes I feel like I only joined or entered this industry to find Danielle in this work. Like, who knows, because I don't know that this is something I'll do for the rest of my life. I enjoy it while I'm here. And it gives me the freedom and the flexibility to still be present as a mom in the home with youngish kids.
Yeah.
But everything that I've learned so far, and it's been about going on a year, it's changed so much, and so much for the better.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that's changed for the worse. Not one thing.
No. Oh, I love that. I have goosebumps.
I have tried for the trip for at least the last 5 years and always missed it. Because of TIR, I was able to use all the tools that were given, and I was able to earn, I think it's like a third, like a quarter of it in a month and a half. Just by using the tools and going through TIR, I was studying and reading and listening, and I just used all those tools and ended up reaching it with 10 minutes to spare. I put my last order in 10 minutes before the deadline to earn my trip. So
now earning your trip though, were you working harder or working smarter?
I was working a lot smarter. So although I was pushing to get it done, I took a lot of time where I was just relaxing and spending time with the kids and the family and doing things. And I found, like, when I was doing that, I would get the intuitive hits. And thanks to TIR, I recognized those intuitive hits. Yeah. And then I followed them. And they're definitely what led me to the goal, for sure.
And